I haven't been talking about migrants as much because there's been so much going on. And it's not that migrants aren't important, but it's more or less about the fact that it's not as popular to talk about it, but I'm still going to talk about it, and I'm going to keep it in my list of things that I got to take care of. Did y'all know that migrants are starting to develop a list of demands inside of these liberal cities, including Denver specifically, and all liberal cities, that they said that they will step down and stop protesting or stop going in on y'all if y'all meet this list of demands? Did y'all know that migrants are now developing a list of demands of things that they want from you guys, the taxpayers in these liberal cities, because they feel like it's their right, it's their human right here in the United States of America, even though they came here illegally? I love this show so much. I absolutely love this show. Make sure y'all hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. Let's get into it, man.
Times we're in New York City, and we are overwhelmed with illegal immigrants. Over 130,000, maybe more, have passed through. We expect about 80,000 still here. In some beautiful hotels they're now revisiting. They've destroyed soccer fields over at Randall's Island. But it's easy to forget other cities, smaller proportion, Denver leading the charge, actually have it worse than New York.
You know what? And this story is going to have you scratching your head. I think these migrants who have set up an encampment.
You mean newcomers?
Right, the migrant newcomers who set up the encampment under that bridge in Denver. I think they've been watching cable TV because they've obviously been watching the protesters at college campuses. And what do all the protesters want? I'm
gonna read those super chats shortly. I appreciate y'all.
A list of demands. You want us to, stop protesting? We've got a list of demands. So you've got about 100 of these migrants, the newcomers. They put out a list to the mayor of 13 demands they've got to get if they wanted the city to get them out of there. And you know what? Apparently they're caving because 100 left.
Yeah. Oh, God.
So let's read these demands. We're going to go by them one by one. Y'all ready? Now, let me add some context to this before I start reading these list of demands that the migrants want. All right. And of course, you're not going to get the other stations reporting this, but this is really a thing. So Mayor Mike Johnston was one of the mayors. He was one of the few, I think he was like the only white mayor that went up to D.C. To ask for additional funding from the Biden administration, along with the Atlanta mayor and Brandon Johnson in Chicago and Eric Adams in New York and Karen Bass over in LA. And Denver was a part of it because they had designated themselves as a sanctuary city. Well, Mike Johnston, the white mayor over in Denver, was one of the first mayors that said, you know what? We're not going to be a sanctuary city. We can't take no more migrants. We's tired, boss. We's tired, boss. So Mike Johnston, the white man, right? Because Karen Bass is black, Eric Adams is black, the Atlanta mayor that was, showing an unwavering support to Fonnie Willis is black, Brandon Johnson is black, and he was the only white man that was there. So he was a minority, right? Know what I'm saying? He was a snow hair that I don't think that Umar Johnson would approve of, but he was still up there. He was doing his thing, right? And he said, I'm going to go ahead and pull out. We're not going to be a sanctuary city no more. We sad, boss. All right? So this is the list of demands of what's going on over in Denver. All right. Imagine somebody coming in illegally and putting a list of demands up. Migrants will cook with fresh, culturally appropriate ingredients provided by the city and no pre-made meals. Boy, I can't believe it. I said this is impossible. No way, no how did they even have the English capabilities to come up with such things. Shower access without time limits. Regular visits from medical professional visits, and referrals for specialty care. So not only did they get health care coverage, they said that they don't want to be on an HMO. They want to be on a PMO. Look, listen to this. You can't kick us out for housing after 30 days without something else that's stable established. Boy, oh boy, I can't believe what I'm watching right here. Clear, just process before exiting someone, verbal and written warning. You got to put it in writing. We are part of the union now. All shelter residents will receive connection to employment support, and you got to give us a job. Man, listen, bro. This is insane. Let me see if I can get to this other list. All right. Consultations with a free immigration lawyer and a free transportation to court. They want to be driven to court and they want their papers. Privacy for families and individuals in the shelter. No more law enforcement monitoring 24/7 in shelters. They want to be able to be free and do what they want to do. Transportation for kids to and from schools. No separating families, and the city must schedule meetings with the mayor to discuss ways to support migrants, and the city must provide documents with these demands to include a number to report the mistreatment if you're not meeting the other 12 demands. This is crazy. This is literally the craziest thing that I've seen from people that's not even supposed to be here.
13 demands they've got to get if they wanted the city to get them out of there. And you know what? Apparently they're caving because 100 left.
Yeah, oh, gosh, look at some of these demands. Food with fresh, culturally appropriate ingredients, no pre-made meals. They want shower access without time limits, medical professional visits. You can't kick people out of housing after 30 days without...
This is what they sent over to the mayor in Denver.
Something stable established. They want a free immigration lawyer. They want employment support. No more law enforcement monitoring 24/7 in the shelters. Transportation for kids to and from school. Just to name a few.
Right. Well,
but their mayor has allowed this to happen because he's a liberal mayor who thinks to come one, come all. Now his city, which was struggling anyway, is now on its heels, and they're trying to get this eyesore and this problem out of their way. It's costing people money. It's costing people access to roads, and now they want to, in the perfect world, pack up and send them to New York.
Well, here's the thing.
Look at the city of Denver. Look at the streets of Denver. You know, I went to a bunch of cities that look just like this. I went to Los Angeles. They got Skid Row that look like this. There's some places in Chicago that I seen on TV. I didn't actually see it for myself. We also have D.C. So if you go into D.C., they got a lot of tent cities. They got some tent cities everywhere. This is insane.
Mentioned they want shower access without time limits. They want unlimited showers. The migrants said, we are not in the military. We are civilians. We want to be able to take our time. And here's the thing. The city of Denver has made this worse because currently the migrants get rent and food assistance for 6 months and free legal advice. So it's like they're getting all that stuff.
Wait. They get rent and food for 6 months and free legal advice? Shout out to my dog Maestro, says, for liberals making demands like fascists, they are. Like the fascists they are. Yes, I agree. Shout out to Maestro over here on Cash App. I'm going to read the super chat shortly.
And Ainsley, one of the things was transportation for kids to and from schools. So obviously they're winding up with an education. The migrants are going to Denver because there's a lot that they can get for free. And now they want more.
They said, we're not criminals. Don't treat us like we're criminals. But didn't they break the law to get here?
And also they go, we don't want the sheriff sleeping amongst us in the shelters. We want to be left alone. I love the use of the word newcomers. The city must schedule meetings with the mayor and those directly involved in running the newcomer program as soon as possible. They're not newcomers. They're illegal immigrants who have no right to be here. And because of these forgiving policies, come one, come all, and these misunderstood understanding of we are a nation of immigrants, legal immigration, this is what's happened. This has never been a problem. They could sit in their city and talk about how mean people are that work for ICE for deporting people that are here illegally. But now it's their problem, and their policies are blowing up in their face in Chicago, in Denver, in Philadelphia, in Los Angeles, San Francisco, and San Diego. And now they can't handle it. They're running out of money. The people are running out of patience. And hopefully they're sobering up come November.
Let me share with you what basically is happening in Denver as far as the sweeps of the encampments shortly after these demands are being made.
Today, the city of Denver was clearing a camp of about 100 migrants. It happened early this morning in Central Park.
I wish women dressed like that before we get into it. And they got a matching tie and hookup. I like this. I know that y'all going to say Anton, he's being too conservative and the women shouldn't be able to dress like this. And we need to make sure that we keep our women sexually liberated and they need to be showing skin and everything like that. Yo, her hookup, like she looks cute. That looks dope. It's nice and conservative. Am I too conservative? I'm sorry. Let me stop having my conservative ways.
South of Northfield.
They cleared that camp this morning and another one this afternoon. 9 News reporter Angeline McCall joins us from where that second camp was near the airport. Angeline.
Yeah, well, not only were they swept that first time, they were also swept a second time in the sense of getting kicked out. So this is the second encampment that was set up after the original encampment, was shut down and swept by the city. Like you guys mentioned, about 100 people at that original location in Central Park, which is really off of the railroad tracks. And so the city cited safety concerns wanting to sweep that camp this morning. So they moved from that original location next to the railroad line and they packed up their things and dispersed to smaller
and threw it in the
camps, at least
trash.
2 that we know of. And at this one that we're here today, police immediately came and kicked them off that property because they said camping wasn't allowed due to it being an airport property. Individuals this morning were offered 3 days. Later this afternoon, however, they were offered 7 days of shelter, and they ultimately, all of the migrants, they changed their minds and they decided to take up the city's offer of shelter rather than continuing to another camp and declining that shelter arrangement.
So today we were really strongly encouraging folks to come inside for everyone's safety, especially the safety of the children. And the solution is to bring them inside for a meaningful length of time with very strong case management to help every family and the individuals make a plan.
They bullying y'all, man. They straight up bullying y'all. They are pushing y'all around and they telling y'all what their demands are and y'all meeting the demands and they forcing y'all to clean up after them. They came into this country illegally. They demanding stuff now. They acting just like some of these people that's a part of the diversity, equity, and inclusion. And y'all doing exactly what they say.
That's appropriate for their situation.
That was Sarah Plastino, the head of the newcomer program for the city
Newcomer
with Denver Human
program.
Services. Now, I did speak with migrants.
Head of the
It was
newcomer
a really
program.
chaotic day. There was a lot of change, a lot of commotion happening. We spoke with one gentleman who said that he planned to take a bus out of the city just because he had reached his limit, that they kept kicking him from place to place. He really had no stability, and so he actually had accepted a bus
Either he gonna probably go to New York or Chicago.
ticket. When he heard that the terms had changed to 7 days, he changed his mind, said that he would stick it out and see how things work out.
Oh, he said he's sticking around.
Angeline, you've been
Somebody gave him a bus ticket. He said, "Nah, I'm gonna stay here because they gave me some more time."
covering this for months and communicating and talking to all of these migrants. And there's a lot of trust issues they have, and they've been through a lot. So this was a critical day.
Who got smoke with me? Tell me what their name is inside of the chat.
A critical day, and actually that was what led, in the city's words, some of that distrust actually caused migrants to turn down the shelter offer in the first place. Families in this case get 30 days in the shelter, as we reported yesterday, and a lot of those families turned down that offer because they said they couldn't really take the words of the city without, for instance, like a written word, hey, I will be in a shelter for 30 days, because they had been kicked out prior. And so this community does have, some distrust, but all of them accepted this offer today. So as the city says, this is progress.
So they're going to continue to bully y'all, and they're going to tell y'all what to do, and they're going to continue to camp out in your city. And we so weak. We so soft. We so weak. We so evil. And that we just let ourselves get undermined. You letting resources being taken from you. You pay your taxes. You pay your taxes, and you still getting bullied. you still getting bullied. That's unfortunate. That is unfortunate. Well, this is what you voted for. This is what you get. And so as a result, now you got to deal with it. Welcome to America. Shout out to America. Shout out to Americans. And shout out to the people that continue to give in to all of these migrants that's not even supposed to be here and is here illegally.